Welcome Linux fans, it's Mark from Mcintyre here. Today I bring you an interview with your manager, Mcintyre. We talk all things from the friendly against 1874 Northwich coming this Saturday at 2 p.m. We talk about the game on Tuesday and how they're going to bounce back from that. We talk about the resumption of the season post 19th of December and many other things. There's a lot to be excited about. You see Callum's positive attitude as he leads this club to new heights, and I hope you enjoy. Right, we'll get straight on with it. I don't want to dwell on the result from Tuesday too much because I feel like you've spoken about it enough. Obviously, great performance from the boys. Obviously, not the result we wanted either, but I feel like your team has shown this season already you thrive in adversity. Do you see this as motivation for your team, going forward? When the league resumes, hopefully at the end of the month.
Yeah. So, look, to analyse the bits you can analyse, we were really good on Tuesday night. I don't even buy into the sort of thought that we improved in the second half because we were disappointed in the first half. We've played well for 90 minutes. We've conceded two really poor goals from set pieces that ultimately that's the reason we haven't won the game, and penalties is a lottery. But the bit for us, you talk about adversity and stuff. We've gone out of a competition that we probably weren't going to win. I don't think there were many people lumping on Runcorn Linux to be winning the FA Trophy at Wembley. But it's more a disappointment that the performance and the efforts that go into Tuesday night prevent us from being able to pursue that in the competition and the ties that follow. But there is no time to be disappointed. We're straight back to it. And for us, with the news that it sounds like a restart to the league season is sooner rather than later, our attentions have got to turn to making sure we're in the best possible place to compete. And that's physically, but also as a coach, it's a bit of a dream to be given an extra week's work to try and embed some stuff in players, particularly after a month off, to make sure that when that restart happens, we are in a position to be in the best possible place.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that, obviously, with the league being cancelled until the 19th, I believe. Do you see it as a positive that you get that extra week to, as you've mentioned, you go get some friendlies going, and it gives you a week to kind of reset after this long period off, and then the result on Tuesday. Do you see it as a positive that you get this kind of reset period, you get to regroup and get back into the swing of things?
Like everything, there's two ways to look at it. Before the lockdown, we were in a really good place. We were sort of firing in front of goal. We were on the back of win after win after win. And Tuesday's game felt like a game in isolation. It felt like a sort of one-off standalone fixture because it was a cup competition. For us, from a coaching point of view, the opportunity to have an extra week to just work with players, and for us, we're just going to play games. We've not had as many home fixtures as we would like to play in front of our own supporters, play on our own pitch, and ultimately get to grips with how we want to be at home. So we will take the opportunity to play three fixtures, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, at home, and get a real feel for where we want to be at.
So obviously the first one of those friendlies has been announced as 1874 Northwich at 2 p.m. on Saturday. What do you hope to get out of this game against a team that look like they're doing well in the league below Runcorn? What do you see you'll get out of this game?
Minutes is the big one for us. So minutes in the legs. So we will want a scenario where we've got a couple of lads that, in my opinion, have earned opportunities in terms of what they've done on the training ground. So they have impressed, but because of perhaps the run of form we've been on, we haven't been in a position to ultimately get those out on the pitch based on the run that we've been on. So when you're winning games and you've got players that are performing, unfortunately, lads that might be excelling on the training ground aren't in a position to necessarily get that opportunity on a Saturday afternoon. So on Saturday, there'll be some changes, some of the newer lads that will get out there on the pitch. But for us, it's just about increasing that sharpness, because despite how the lads might have looked after themselves during the lockdown period and the things they might have put in place, there is no replacement for playing games. And I think you saw that for both teams on Tuesday night in terms of a sharpness, some of the unforced errors, and particularly the last 15 to 20 minutes of the game.
Obviously, then you mentioned about the depth of your squad. You've got players who are putting in the work on the training pitch and, could easily start in this league. But, you've got so many quality players, it seems like you can't fit them all into the starting 11 every week. And of course, you got the two new signings announced last week in Kane Noble and Dapo. Is it essential to have depth, especially with the way the season's going nowadays with obviously the coronavirus situation and the cancellation of games? Is it even more important than ever to have that depth?
Yeah, depth means competition. And I think look, I don't make excuses, and you have your squad that you have, but we haven't been able to put a full group out on the pitch all season. So, in most recently, we lose Peter Wiley, captain, as good a centre half as there is at this level. He's not played for us now it's been 6 or 7 weeks for a variety of circumstances related to his injury. We'll look forward to getting him back out on the pitch. You need depth to ensure that competition, but equally, you need a variety of options. And I don't think often enough we've been in a position where we are selecting a squad. I think a squad has selected itself. So we will use these games to look at those players that we brought in that I feel add to the group and just try and create that little bit of competition culture where players know that there is always someone breathing down your neck. But whereas you reference depth, I reference competition. And yeah, I think that's vital that you have players knocking on the door, always want to take someone's shirt, but equally from a manager's point of view, having those options to tweak and change as and when the games allow.
With the league hopefully resuming later this month, it almost feels like it's going to be a brand new season. What's your mentality going into this, because of the big gap in between your last league game and the next one?
Win, and if you can't win, don't lose, and that'll pretty much. You'll ask me that in July, December, at the end of the season. If I give you a different answer than that, then we've got a big problem.
I suppose, yeah. You said to Dan Brown after the Tuesday game about it's coming up to the business end of the season, and when it gets that, you mean business. Is the squad, and you and the squad, have they got tunnel vision on getting promotion this season? Are you motivated than ever, with all the complications going on with the season? Is that only motivating you even more to just like blitz the rest of the season and aim for promotion, even the title?
Yeah, I think, look, that's about recruitment and the environment. So the recruitment that the activity we put in the summer and up to this point are players that want to succeed and not players that just want to be around. Equally, the environment that we create is a performance environment. Success, winners. Want to win a five-a-side in training. Don't want to lose in a rondo box on a Thursday so that you're buying the sweets on a Saturday. Whatever it is, winners. There is one goal for this group of players. There are measurable targets along the way to measure that goal, and our goal remains the same as it did at the start of the season. If anything, I think the belief in that is increasing every week when you look at the level of performance and the improvements. I believe in the last 10 games, we will be a side that teams won't want to play. Given that this is a brand new group and, like you say, some of the circumstances and the challenges, in the last 10 games of the season, we will be in a place where I believe we will be up there. As to what that looks like will be, where are we 11 games from the end of the season, as to what position are we fighting for in those last 10. So it's cliches about game by game. Our goal remains the same. We can't wait to get going. And my belief in the group and what we're trying to achieve is certainly as strong as it's ever been.
With the friendlies, you mentioned getting some home games in. Obviously, that's great for the players to be playing on their own pitch, but also for the fans, it's great. They've been unfortunate this season to not be able to watch their team as much as they would hope to. How important is it that the fans get to connect with the players again by going to these home games and watching them play?
Yeah, it's been difficult, hasn't it? So I've done war and peace on not being able to play the home games that we'd want, and the home games that we perhaps had to play have been under challenging circumstances with, at times, the restrictions that were in the Merseyside area earlier in the calendar year. Look, this is a team that our supporters can get behind, and you use the word connect there, but I think the type of football we're trying to play is the way the game should be played. It's winning football. It's all action football. It's the physical demands we place on our players. Is that in no game at any point this season can you question effort levels, and we want our supporters to see that. Equally, we recognise the responsibility we have as being part of a football club, a community-based football club. We want our supporters to enjoy their contact time with us, and we've not been able to have as much of that as certainly we would have liked. I imagine they would have liked. So it's an opportunity for them to get down to the ground, see the work that we're doing, and hope that sort of kickstarts us into the restarted league campaign that we certainly hope is imminent.
I want to touch on that business end of the season quote again. Is this something that excites you as a manager? Coming up to the big games and the heavy schedule and everything like that. Does that excite you as your first season as a first team manager in the senior level?
I want to be a winner. I think people that have worked with me understand that and understand what that actually looks like. That it's very easy to say. You can't turn up and be a winner on a Saturday and then not be a winner from Monday to Friday. It's got to be a way in which you do everything. So for me, I set targets. I never came in here and talked about surviving. I saw that we were set a target by people that have no understanding of how we work and what the targets were within the group. I saw that we were going to get relegated and that we were going to struggle. So that's fine. If that's the target for now, then let's just get enough points to stay in the division and build from there. I certainly know what we're capable of and what we can do at the business end of the season. But equally, I'm very, very clear about what we need to do to get us in that position. So, of course, it excites me. But I get excited on a Tuesday night for training, a Thursday night for training, and Saturday at 3 p.m. It's what your week is about. It's what you work for. So you need to be careful that we don't look at the business end before we get ourselves there. The focus needs to be on making sure that come that business end of the season, we're in a position that we're competing, not playing catch up on our targets.
And finally, what can the Linnets fans expect from this squad from now to the end of the season? What have they got to look forward to coming from you and the boys?
100% effort, a way of playing football that we believe is attacking football, attractive football. Although I'll be honest, I've just used the phrase attractive football that I would be offended if anyone else has used. So I'm a little bit disgusted with myself there. Ultimately, a football team that will do everything they can to get success for the football club, and a management team that, like I say, will share that ambition. It won't always be plain sailing. There'll be bumps in the road. The important thing for me is that we're going in the same direction, and that's players, staff, supporters, everyone. So much to be excited about. The challenge is to make sure that, and that's pressure on me to make sure we're delivering that week after week after week. But I haven't shied away from any of that stuff since June. I certainly won't be shying away from it over Christmas. And I can guarantee between now and May, I'll be doing everything I can to make sure that our football team out there on the pitch is doing everything they can to succeed.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty to be excited about. Me and the boys at the Linnets Inside have personally seen that since we started working with the club and everything. And I think we fully believe that you and the boys can go all the way. So it's been great to watch it so far.
So that was the interview with Cal. Nice little positive chat as we go ahead with this complicated season. As we mentioned, the Linnets return to action at 2 p.m. this Saturday 12th at the Millbank Linnets Stadium as they take on 1874 Northwich in a friendly. We hope to see you there, and thank you for listening.